Welcome back, everybody. Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888. That's right, y'all. Yeah, I'm alive. I apologize for my absence. I've had a lot of stuff going on, but I'm eager to get back into making some videos. And today we've got a doozy. I want to discuss some of the stuff that's going on with the NRA. And I want to kind of provide a caveat here. I'm not representing Gun Owners of America as a Georgia State Director in this video, okay? These views do not reflect the opinions or views of Gun Owners of America. I want to make that clear. But we're going to discuss some of this stuff that's going on with the NRA. It's kind of in the news now. People are talking about it. We're going to break into it. Before we do, I would like to thank our friends at CMMG for supporting our efforts. They have some awesome stuff in the AR world. They are the king of weird. I say that all the time, but it is so true. You know, I love the Mark 47. They also have their new Descent Mark 47 out, which is their bufferless system now in 7.62x39. Really cool stuff. Their 22 conversion kits are amazing. They do everything from P90 barrels all the way to lots of awesome offerings in PCC category. They also have some specifically built guns like the Anvil, which are really cool, a 458 SOCOM AR that they build. So check them out, CMMG. Use the code IV8888 to save yourself a nice chunk of money if you decide to do business over there. All right, we're going to break into this. This is an article from our friends over at AmmoLand, and this one was written by Mr. Jeff Knox. Now, in the upcoming videos, you're going to be getting some information from me that might be a little bit dated. It may not necessarily be news, but there's some things I still want to give my opinion on, and some things that I've been behind the curve a little bit on videos, so I do apologize for my absence. I am eager to get back into making tons of videos. And yes, obviously, guys, we've got tons of gun reviews on the way, more meltdowns, gunsmithing, reloading, all sorts of stuff, more redneck science. We're hitting the ground running in 2024. We're going to have a bunch of great content coming out, so don't miss it. Make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter, Iraq Veteran 8888 Official. All right, let's get into this. Former NRA CEO Wayne LaPierre has cost the gun rights movement north of $1 billion. Interesting. This is an op-ed here from Jeff Knox. Let's get into it. Former CEO of the NRA, Wayne LaPierre, has finally admitted virtually everything that he's been accused of over the past 5 years, and a jury has found him liable for padding his own pockets to the tune of $5.5 million. Wayne LaPierre's hand-picked treasurer and chief financial officer, Woody Phillips, was also found liable for $2 million in personal profit at NRA members' expense, and the NRA itself, really, the NRA's current board of directors, was found to have failed in its fiduciary obligations to shepherd and safeguard the members' assets. Keep in mind that none of this really takes into account the millions paid to consultants with nothing of substance to show for it, or the hundreds of millions spent on lawyers and the losses in membership and revenue over the past 5 years. All told, the bogus spending and lost income amount to something north of $1 billion. That's right, y'all. $1 billion with a B. Now, New York Acting Supreme Court Justice Joel Cohen has the difficult task of deciding how best to remedy the situation. Unfortunately, there's an important absence in Justice Cohen's courtroom, the members of the NRA. On one side of the table is Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York, who, during her election campaign, pledged to destroy the NRA and called it a terrorist organization. On the other side of the table is the ridiculously overpriced lawyer William Brewer for the NRA, whose firm has been paid approximately $2 million per month, every month, for the last 5 years. Wow. Every move William Brewer has made in that time has done nothing but dig the NRA's hole deeper. AG James and her office have a legal obligation to represent and protect the interests of the members of the NRA. Does anyone believe that she or has any interest in living up to that legal obligation? Is the interest of the NRA membership her primary motivation, or any part of her motivation in this action? That's a great point that Jeff brings up. William Brewer III, the New York lawyer who claims residence in Dallas and who has a big contributor to Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and Beto O'Rourke, is supposedly representing the NRA, you would think that his obligation would be to the NRA members, but that doesn't appear to be the case. He was initially hired by Wayne LaPierre and has spent almost all of his efforts over the past 5 years making terrible legal moves that gave every appearance of protecting LaPierre at the NRA members' expense. Then, right before the trial started last month, LaPierre stepped down for health reasons. Brewer then declared that the NRA's position has always been that the association was the victim of unscrupulous vendors and insiders, and with LaPierre's departure, the NRA has fixed all of the problems that allowed that victimization. Sitting next to Brewer at the table and the NRA board president, Charles Cotton, and the NRA board of directors. Like A.G. James and Attorney Brewer, Cotton and the board have a legal, ethical, and moral duty to act in the best interest of the National Rifle Association, its members. Well, there's a problem. Like I.G. James and Attorney Brewer, President Cotton and the NRA board appear to have divided loyalties as well. Man, what a giant freaking cluster from hell. I swear. Not only did they sit by and allow LaPierre, Phillips, and those unscrupulous vendors, read friends of Wayne, to siphon hundreds of millions of dollars out of NRA accounts over at least 2 decades, when the evidence of the corruption came to light in 2019, they rallied around LaPierre, loudly pronounced him innocent of any wrongdoing, and shunned, defamed, and denounced anyone who dared to even ask questions or suggest an investigation. Rather than demanding an accounting and miscreants' heads on pikes, Cotton and the assembled board took every action to cover Wayne's increasingly exposed backside. Even as LaPierre's story shifted over time, with new lies replacing old lies and newer lies replacing the previous lies, Cotton was at the forefront, repeating the lies and adding in a few of his own, while defending LaPierre at every turn, with the docile board meekly believing and parroting each and every iteration as gospel. So where is Justice Cohen supposed to turn to find a voice that truly represents NRA members? He certainly can't have any confidence that A.G. James, Attorney Brewer, or the officers or directors of the NFA truly represent the interests of rank-and-file NRA members. With this menagerie of conflicted and self-serving individuals, how is the judge supposed to determine what's best for the NRA and its members? He should realize that the majority of NRA members who vote in board elections and keep re-electing the same people to the board don't trust the legacy media at all and get almost all of their trusted information about the NRA from NRA publications, which are controlled by the current regime. If he removes the obviously complicit board members, how many would be left, and how many of those are incompetent and or cowardly? It would be pretty arrogant and presumptuous to assume or to suggest that the 4 of us who are running as reform candidates for the NRA board seats in the current 2024 election, Phil Journey, Rocky Marshall, Dennis Forsero, and me, Jeff Knox, could speak for all the NRA members. We do think we understand most members' interests better than any of the previously mentioned characters, but who could possibly fairly represent 3 to 4 million others, and how is the judge supposed to find those representatives? As you might have guessed, I have a few basic ideas on this topic. The NRA has thousands of volunteers working every day all around the country. From local state Friends of NRA committees to volunteer election coordinators to coaches, range safety officers, match coordinators, hunter safety, education instructors, gun club officers, state association leaders, and more. Most of those volunteers, though not all of them, work, or under their local state association. The state associations are the natural heirs and beneficiaries of the NRA's assets, and they work actively to serve the needs of the NRA members in their state. While not all NRA members in a state are members of the state association, all members of the state associations are NRA members, and they are typically the most active and involved NRA members in the state. Judge Cohen needs ready access to people who can authoritatively speak for NRA members. State associations and other NRA state affiliates are in the best position to provide him with that access. It is my hope that the judge will remove all officers and directors who have failed in their fiduciary obligations to NRA members, appoint a special master and receiver to oversee a thorough house cleaning and reorganization of the association, and appoint a members committee made up of candidates recommended by the various state associations to help guide and direct that reorganization. It all sounds simple on paper, but there's a lot to do in a very short time. The first step is to convince you that it is a good idea and that it should be pursued. The second step is for you to help convince your local state association leaders that they really need to get involved and run with this idea. The third step is for the state association leaders to petition the judge and convince him that he needs their help. Finally, the judge and the state association leaders will need to come up with some guidelines and processes for nominating candidates and submitting them to the judge. The key to all this is the involvement of state association leaders, and the key to getting those leaders involved is your advocacy. This can only happen if large numbers of NRA members begin pushing the idea at their local gun clubs and directly petition their state associations. Begin by sharing this article with your gun-owning friends and the ownership of your local clubs, friends of NRA committees, and state association leaders. Follow that with calls and emails asking those leaders to take immediate action. The NRA is literally on the verge of insolvency. The association's future is about to be decided by a New York judge who has limited knowledge or experience with the NRA or NRA members, and his only points of reference are the NRA-hating Attorney General, legacy media, and the self-serving NRA leaders who got the association into this mess in the first place. The judge needs an alternative source of information. He needs to give the NRA members a voice in the future of their organization, and a members committee nominated by state associations could provide that voice. I truly believe Judge Cohen, wants to do the right thing. He's been very fair and reasonable throughout this whole long, drawn-out process. Let's get the judge what he needs to make good decisions about the future of our organization. Let's get our state associations to intervene in this case and give our members a real voice in the upcoming trial and the association's future. So, I know Jeff Knox personally, and he is a really good guy, and I know that his heart is in the right place. And, I really wanted to discuss this because there seems to be a heck of a lot of discourse that goes on, where people talk about, well, which gun rights organization is the best gun rights organization. Now, look, full disclosure, I'm the Georgia State Director for Gun Owners of America. And what I'm saying in this video, I'm not trying to represent GOA here. This is just Eric here. This is just me, guys. This is one guy's opinion, okay? I'm just going to put it out there. I think that I try to adhere to the principles, in terms of gun rights organizations, I try to adhere to the principles that Thomas Massie puts forth when it comes to gun rights organizations. Thomas Massie's advice is that you should join all of them, right? Like there's strength in numbers, right? Like support the NRA, support GOA, support FPC, support National Gun Rights Association. Look, there's so many great people out there doing good work. And of course, I'm not going to mention everybody. There's just so many good people that even at their state levels, right, there are state organizations, Virginia Citizens Defense League, tons of others, right? So many that I can't even think of them all. There's just so many. So whether you get involved at the state level, at the federal level, whether you get involved in a national gun rights organization, such as ours or the NRA, I think Massie is correct, is that you should try to support all of them as much as you can. And while I'm not going to sit here and say that over the years I have not expressed concern, right, and very much contempt for the National Rifle Association. I was one of the very early people, myself and many others, who raised the red flag about things that were going on with this organization and definitely some fiduciary wrongdoing, okay? And we raised the flag, and people called us rabble-rousers and called us troublemakers and called us every name in the book because, that we weren't, having it right. And of course, we were wrong. And, you're just trying to destroy the organization. They were trying to throw so much mud at us professionally and in our YouTube careers, everything, whatever we were doing, people were trying to, make us out to be the bad guys for calling us out. But of course we see the cream always floats to the top. And we see that here it is in black and white. It is the truth. We were correct about what was going on with the situation. And it's not that we were trying to harm the organization in the process. We were really concerned about the members. And at the end of the day, that's all we really care about and all I really care about. And I know that I don't speak for GOA in this video. However, I do think it's very important that we all support each other. And at the end of the day, we're all gun owners, right? Whether you're a card-carrying member of the NRA, and let's say that, you've been an NRA member for 30, 40 years or a lifetime member. I'm a lifetime member, okay? Look, maybe you have such a loyalty to that gun rights organization, you'd never dream of giving money to another organization. That's fine. Look, all the organizations fight a little bit differently. All right, a little insider baseball. Maybe I'll get in trouble. Maybe I'll get in trouble for saying this. That's okay. Whatever. I'm just going to go here. It's fine. Look, the NRA does business in a way that, they buddy up with the politicians. They take them to golf tournaments and they go to little wine mixers and all kind of hunts and crap. And, they buddy up with the politicians, and they're more access based. Like, hey, buddy, they get all friendly with them. And that's fine. Hey, is it easier to go about a situation with a politician being friends with them from a lobbying perspective than being a thorn in their side? Well, maybe, right? Maybe that has its place, right? Other gun rights organizations like NAGR, I mean, look, Dudley, he lights a fire under their butts, and he's like, look, you don't vote the way we want. We're gonna send the torches and pitchforks after you, right? Okay. FPC, what do? They break out the freaking lawsuit machine and start cranking out lawsuits, and they sue the ever-loving crap out of everybody that does anything that is even remotely against the Second Amendment, right? What does GOA do? We have a comfortable mixture of all of those things, right? Like, hey, we know who our friends are. We keep our friends close. We keep our enemies closer. We have some of the best lobbyists in Washington. Aiden and the guys are doing, a great job, okay? So it's like, look, we have some of the best minds out here that are protecting our rights. Eric Pratt is, in my opinion, one of the strongest voices right now in the Second Amendment community. I mean, and a guy like Eric is so much more important right now because someone like LaPierre stepped down, where, look, LaPierre has done some good work in the past, okay? He's made some good statements. I remember his debate with Rebecca Peters. He did a great job debating Rebecca Peters, a known extreme Australian anti-gunner, right? There's been many situations in the past where, he's done some good work. He's written some good speeches. He's done his share of work in the trenches, right? But, with him stepping down, it's like when you look at an organization like the NRA as such this large, slow-moving, slow-turning ship, there's like this, sort of megalodon, so to speak. A voice like Eric is all that much more important, right? GOA is a large gun rights organization, and we've done some great work, and Eric is at the forefront of all of that, right? And all of our state and regional directors, national guys, our lobbyists. I mean, so look, all the gun rights organizations are doing great work in their own way. It's just the NRA has suffered a little bit of a black eye. Is that to say that the organization can be saved? Well, that's a really dumb question. Of course it can be saved, because look, what is an organization but its people? At the end of the day, the NRA is comprised of awesome members, awesome people who just care about gun rights, right? So at the end of the day, if you strip away what the NRA is and it goes away, and let's just say the anti-gunners boogeyman has always been the NRA, and say that somehow it goes the way of the dodo, is that the end of the world? Of course not. It's not the end of the world, because those people don't just dissolve into nothing like sugar cubes overnight. No, the NRA members are still out there. They're still going to get involved at the grassroots level. They're still going to do things in their local, states. They're still going to get involved, locally in training and all sorts of different programs and things like that. So, it doesn't mean that it's forever, that this is, going to go the way of the dodo. But it is a scary time for the NRA right now, and I really wanted this video to be an extension of an olive branch, so to speak. I mean, look, there's a lot going on in our country right now. It's an election year. Things are scary right now, of course. And look, there are plenty of people that hate gun owners enough as it is, okay? Things are not easy for gun owners right now. There's not a very large appetite on the federal level for anti-gun legislation or pro-gun legislation. So there's a bit of a stalemate there. We are having some doozies being handed down in the Supreme Court, so we'll see where the bump stock case with Michael Cargill goes. If you haven't seen that video, I just did an interview with Michael Cargill a few days ago. That's up on the channel if you want to get a full, information drop on what's going on with the bump stock case. But that is before the Supreme Court right now, which is great. Okay, I mean, we've seen some great states' rights battles that are being won, like national... let's say carry reciprocity and constitutional carry, I guess is what permitless constitutional carry is what I'm trying to say erroneously here. But look, we are winning at the state level, and there's at least a stalemate at the federal level. And at the Supreme Court, we have gotten some pretty favorable looking, decisions that have come down. So who knows what the future may hold, and who knows what the future will hold for the NRA. But I agree with Jeff Knox. I think that if the organization can be saved, then by gosh, we need to try and save it. And look, I understand that there are many different gun rights organizations, all of them with their own plan of attack, all of them with their own goals and motivations and things like that. But at the end of the day, I do feel like they all want to do good work, and they all want to see gun laws completely wiped away and our rights restored in every way. Because remember, we're working on the Second Amendment right now that is not really the complete holistic sort of version of what it originally was, right? When we looked at texts and traditions back to 1791, I mean, there was no such thing as all of these bullcrap requirements back in 1791. So, the government has a very difficult litmus test to pass when it comes to the gun laws that are on the books. They have to prove that there was some historical analog back in 1791 that would be a traditional type of law that mirrors the laws we have now. Now, will this take years and years, if not decades, to work its way out in court? The answer is certainly yes. They're going to drag it out. But the groundwork is there for the Bruin Standard to apply a very difficult smell test for them to pass. We have to keep our eyes on the prize, y'all. We can't allow all this infighting to destroy what we're trying to really, carefully work for here. So keep that in mind. If you're an NRA member, consider following Jeff Knox's advice. He's a very good and principled guy. He has a good heart and means well. And I know that if we go this route and we could get him involved, it is going to be good things for the NRA as a whole moving forward. And look, large ships, they turn slow, right? They don't turn on command, but they also don't sink very quickly either. I mean, hey, you get a few holes, we can plug it and bail the water out. Might be able to save the ship. Who knows? Is the ship worth saving? I'm going to let y'all decide if you think the ship is worth saving. But I personally think, hey, if we can plug the holes and keep the dang thing afloat, we need to probably try to keep that institution going somehow and try to save it somehow. That's my view of it. Now, there may be people within the gun rights world that disagree with me, including some of my very own. However, that's my view of it. I think that we are stronger united, and that's my view of it. We got to stick together because enough people hate us as it is, and we've got to really circle the wagons here. So great reporting there from Jeff Knox, and hey, great article there on Ammo Land. Make sure you support Ammo Land. They're a great group of people, and definitely support Jeff Knox's work. Very good writer over there on Ammo Land. Of course, him and John Crump, lots of the other writers here that I report. So there's our video for the day. And look, I really appreciate y'all's patience. I've been getting back into filming. I took a little bit of time off to do some repairs on the house, some cleaning up, kind of get my life in order, get back in the gym, kind of get things rolling again. I really needed a break. SHOT Show was pretty rough. We did a lot of SHOT Show coverage, and I haven't been to SHOT Show in a couple of years. So, we went and did a whole bunch of SHOT Show coverage, and I talked till I was freaking hoarse, and boy, I think we put out some 30-odd videos or something, so I needed a little bit of a break to kind of step away for a bit and reorganize and refresh and mentally recharge. So I'm eager to get back into filming and get some more videos up for y'all, and I appreciate your patience in this endeavor. Thank you so very much. Many more videos on the way. Yes, guys, more meltdowns, more reloading and gunsmithing, redneck science. I've got some armor sitting over here I've got to test, so some armor testing. I've got the new HM50 cal that we're going to be doing a video on. I've got some incendiary ammo we're going to shoot and burn some things up. So tons of awesome content on the way. Some more mill serps, tons of things, cleaning videos, you name it. Top 5, more gun gripes. There's a slew of things going on for 2024, and I hope that you'll join me in these efforts. And I appreciate the years of support. I appreciate your patience. Got many more videos on the way. We'll see you soon.